Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This infringement of copyright is called fair use, and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody. This means you! So, I've been talking a lot about reboots in honor of the soon-to-be Powerpuff Girls reboot coming in April lately, and I was thinking, what could be the worst-case scenario? And turns out, the Powerpuff Girls has the answer. The show itself has the answer to my question in the form of an episode titled, Knock It Off. So today I'll be reviewing that in the 4th animated angel in a row. So the episode starts with the professor talking to someone on the phone. We learn that this is one of the professor's friends from college, Dick Hardley. Yeah, the jokes do roll on as the episode goes on. He will play as an antagonist today, and trust me, this is no spoiler. We immediately see Dick's a Richard through the flashback where he peeks on girls, cheats on assignments, and other things you think of when you think of a college dickhead in 2002. Which was a very different time in animation, I tell you. Anyway, Dick arrives at the house and immediately looks for the lab. And finds the Powerpuff Girls, and thinks they're a fucking goldmine. Huh. Starting to sound like another reboot I know. But which one? Whatever. Dick goes on about how the girls should make them rich, and the Professor Utonium basically tells Dick to never speak to him or his daughters again, and basically tells him to fuck off. The next morning, Dick picks the girls up. Stranger danger does apply here until he reminds them he's Dick. On the ride home, he manipulates them into telling them what they're made of, then continues to get them some chemical X to it. He takes it to a factory on the outskirts of town where he starts producing his own Powerpuff Girls, and brings one to a board meeting where he tries to pawn off these, for lack of better words, bootlegs. Now, imagine these knockoffs to be Powerpuff Girls 2016, and you can kind of understand what I mean when I said this could be the worst case scenario for the show. When these bootlegs wound up on TV, the professor kind of gets suspicious. Don't let this analogy fool you. This episode is good on its own. The girls start worrying about how things will turn out and come to the conclusion that they're good, and Dick's intentions seemed well. So what could go wrong? But that moment that they're questioning their own morality is certainly an interesting scene, and I know I don't normally bring this up, but this is something we don't see well done in modern cartoons often. Most characters seem to think, yeah, I'm right because I'm good, and there's nothing wrong about that. And sure, some cartoons can do that alright, but after a while they begin to feel too one note. I'm not saying a character needs to question every choice they make, because I guess that would just kind of be tedious and annoying, but they definitely need to question a few things. I guess also as a side note, it shouldn't feel forced, but I digress. Anyway, the girls are mass-produced of bootlegs and sold around the world.
What's this? This one's perfect! I thought I told you to cut back on the sugar! Take it back and melt it down for its chemical X!
I swear, that seems so familiar. Where have I seen this before? What reboot? Ah! Whatever. I'm sure it'll come to me anyway. We see an advertisement for the bootlegs, and, well, yeah, the Powerpuff Girls see this, and they aren't happy that they were played for fools. And the jokes on his name begin. By the way, they only add in the professor part of his name just so they can get away with what we all think. Anyway, the girls try to get back the chemical X, and Dick swallows it. And the reaction is, well, mildly disturbing at worst. But then he turns into a giant monster afterwards, and the fight begins. Meanwhile, Utonium sees the warehouse and goes in for the kill. The girls get trapped as he starts taking away their chemical X, and the professor comes into the scene and sees this among all the horrid bootlegs of the girls. He even gets on his knees to beg Dick to take him instead because he cares deeply about the girls. The bootlegs see this and rise up against Dick, wanting the love he never gave them, as they cause a chemical fire that destroys the warehouse. And the girls get their chemical X back because love or some shit like that. But the episode ends off on a good note, and, well, at the time of 2002, that's all we really cared about. Now, I still feel wrong at the end here, because there's something I forgot to mention, but I can't figure out what it is. Oh yeah, this exists. Look, this episode is a good example of how Teen Titans Go was created. It was created with evil intentions, but was helped by good intentions, and hasn't mass-produced a bunch of shitty bootlegs that people buy into. And this could be said about Powerpuff Girls 2016 if they decide to go down the same road. Looking back at the promos, it does actually hold promise, but it could definitely go down the shitter on the pilot episode. We can hope that that doesn't happen. See you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, there's a link below to a Facebook page that you guys can follow. Take care.